Hey guys, so we're going to review graphs and unit rates one more time for your MLQ. So I thought we would use the Prove It example from Friday to give you guys some better context. So if I look at this graph, I see immediately there are holes in it, so I'm going to fill in the numbers. The x-axis is going by tens, so I'm just going to fill it in. Same thing with the y-axis. Now, I can't do anything until I figure out what the unit rate is. I see that there is not a clear point where x is 1, so I'm going to go up to the next clear point and make a dot. And I'm going to go ahead and write that point out. That point is 20, 30. Now, if I divide y over x, this is part A on your notes. Y divided by x, that is 30 divided by 20, which is the same as 3 over 2, or if you want to turn it into a decimal, 1.5. So my equation that models this graph is y equals 1.5x. Now let's talk about what point represents that unit rate. Make sure this is on your notes, and yeah, let's move to the next part. Okay, my next question is asking me what point represents the unit rate. Well, I know that the unit rate is 1.5. And wherever x is 1, the value of y is my unit rate. So the point is going to be 1 and 1.5. And what does this mean? Well, I know that my 1 represents minutes, and my 1.5 represents distance. So what that means is for every 1 minute, I can travel 1.5 miles. And again, you see I'm super specific. Not only do I name the point, I explain what it means in the context of the problem. Let's look at one more aspect. All right, last question. How long to drive 120 miles? Well, again, I'm going to use my equation y equals 1.5x. And this is a part that we have not seen yet. I'm going to label my variables. I know that y is my distance, and that x is my minutes. Now, if I know that I'm driving 120 miles, I can actually plug that in for y, which is something that we haven't seen yet. And again, all I did there was I plugged 120 in for y, so I keep my 1.5x on the other side. Now, this is squished together by multiplication. So to solve for x here, I'm actually going to divide by 1.5. If I divide 120 by 1.5, I come out with x equals 80, which means it will take 80 minutes to drive 120 miles. Let's look at one more, then you'll practice. All right, guys, let's look at this next problem. Great Rapids Rafting rents rafts for $125 per hour. Explain what the points 0, 0, and 125 mean in the context of the problem. Well, this is one on your all's Prove It that was a little bit wonky because most of you guys didn't read the question. If Great Rapids Rafting is renting rafts for $125 per hour, that means for 1 hour, it's going to cost you $125 to rent a raft, which means that the point 1 and 125, 1 represents my hours, and 125 represents my cost. That means for 1 hour, it costs $125 to rent a raft. Likewise, if I don't rent a raft for any amount of time, that means that it's not going to cost me any money. So the point 0, 0, yes, it's the origin, yes, it's the starting point, and a lot of you guys put that. However, more specifically, it means for 0 hours with a raft, it costs $0. All right, guys, stick with me today through the fact that we don't have any paper, and let's get to practice, do the best that you can, prepare for your MLQ tomorrow, and rock it.